Hang on. There you go.
There you go.
Hello, Doug. Can you hear us?
Yes.
Good.
How's everybody doing?
Good,
Hey,
Doug. How are you?
Good.
we're in a hole. All the petitions, it sounds like you're in a cave.
It does. It's kind of strange.
Well,
We're good to go whenever you are.
what does your computer say? 7:30? Okay, doke. We will call Greenville City Council meeting to order. Ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Whitaker,
Here.
Bright, Baumgardner,
Here.
Godwin,
Here.
Howdy Shell, Rogers,
Here.
Schmidt.
Here.
Okay, let's all stand for the pledge, please. We can maneuver around you got it there? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all. Well, welcome to Greenville City Council. The first time we've been back since, I believe it was March or April, or it's been so long ago, I don't recall when. But I'd like to welcome you all, and we're counting on the new technology here. We have, I don't know if you can see it on the YouTube or Facebook or video or whatever it is, but we all have petitions between us, and so that we're able to not have to do the 6-foot spacing. But if you are a citizen wanting to contact council and be heard during the public hearing, there are numbers posted for you to call. The meeting ID number is 764-911-9533. And then you go to the password of 670404. And that will get you locked into the Zoom portion. And when we have the public hearings portion, you may address council at that time. So we're looking forward to that. Again, it's not our intention to shut anyone out. And if you care to contact council or make a statement or whatever, if you're having difficulty, if you will, please during the week, get a hold of the ID department or Mr. Delk, our safety service director, and we can try to make arrangements and make sure that everyone is able to contact council that wishes to, and we'd be, more than happy to hear from you. So again, it's not our intention to shut anyone out at all, but please feel free to get in touch with us one way or the other. With that, we will proceed on the agenda. Approval of the minutes. You all received copies of the last meeting minutes in the mail or via email. Any additions or corrections? Seeing none, they will stand approved as presented. Approval of current financial report. Once again, you received copies of that distributed via the auditor's office. Any additions, corrections, or questions for the auditor? If none, I would entertain a motion to approve.
So move.
Motion by Mr. Rogers to approve the financial report. Discussion? Call the roll, please.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Baumgardner,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Rogers,
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
Okay, approval of the agenda. At this present time, I have nothing to add or subtract from the agenda, and just a note to all members of council and others as well that an amended agenda was presented on Monday, November the 2nd at 9:30 a.m. It was mailed to all council members, so I hope you're doing that one that has actually 7 ordinances and resolutions on it. If you recall, the first one contained only 6. And so some of that was changed a little bit. So other than that, we have the agenda as presented.
Motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Motion by Mr. Schmidt to approve the agenda as presented. Discussion? Call the roll, please.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Baumgartner,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Rogers,
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
Okay, public hearing. If anyone wishes to address council from via Zoom, you may do so at this time. Please state your name and address and your concerns or questions for members of council administration. I only see a couple of folks connected right now on Zoom. So if no one wants to address council at this time, we will move the agenda and go on to administrative reports. Mr. Mayor.
Yeah, I got a couple of things just to update people. The first Friday coming up is the chocolate walk. Tickets are $20 a piece. I think there's a possibility there's a couple left, so you'd have to call the Main Street office to find out. That runs from 6 to 9 p.m., November 6th. Coming up, so. And then the other thing, one other thing is the holiday horse event is still scheduled. That's going to be the 21st. We're checking it day by day with the health department. Make sure that can go on. So far, it's still on. So we'll see how it goes. That's the 21st at 7. I think it's 7 or 7:30. But then it's they have a Romer's always has a pre-event meal. So you get tickets to eat your dinner at Romer's before the event happens. So if you want to check that out, we're for like kids are $7.50, adults are like 15. I guess so. Might check it out if you want. I'm not sure what Ryan has on everything he's talking about, but a couple of other things. If anybody been through the park today and noticed that they're working on the little stockades that they're straightening them up. So I don't know if you're going to bring that up or not, but reinforcing, putting some foundation under them a little bit,
Yes.
straightening those up. So that's a nice project that from outside money of the city. That's I think a little bit of combination of Friends of the Park and then also the DAR is helping out. So that's a pretty cool thing. So that's going to look a lot nicer. And then one thing we brought up today, we had the park board meeting tonight, and the proofs for the memorial stone, from the dedication of the band shell. We got pictures. If anybody would like to see them, I don't know if everybody got those, not probably not.
No, park board.
If you want to see any of them, let us know. We got it in our email. We got pictures of what it may look like. So not the whole thing completely put together, but the proofs of the plaques and what the stone looks like. So if anybody has any questions on that, let us know. So other than that, it's hope everybody got their votes in. So I voted after work about 5 o'clock today. They said there wasn't any lines at the precinct, but they were telling me that it was a real steady vote today. And it said it's kind of like for them today, it was like a regular election. But it said that if you add, they said like all the votes that came in, like mail-in and that they were, that was like extra. So it was a huge process or turnout for votes. So, but there's a lot of people voted early. So it's a big deal, real big deal. Could be all-time record. So with that, pass. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Safety Service Director, Mr. Delk.
Thank you, Mr. President. The only thing I have tonight, I just want to thank our IT department and our street department for helping get all this up and running for tonight. They were scrambling to the last moment today to to get it all completed so we could have this in-person meeting. So I really appreciate their help. And with that, I'll pass.
Wow. And Law Director,
Well, I think
Mr.
I'll
Reed?
continue the short theme this evening so we can all go and watch the election results. I don't have anything additional. I just entertain any questions from council.
Anyone questions? Thank you, sir. And City Auditor, Mrs. Wellman.
Thank you, Mr. Council President. I really don't have anything for this evening. I also want to thank the IT department. I know they went through a lot of stuff to get this to where it's at tonight. So a lot of work involved, long time getting parts available, and it's been quite the process. But hey, we're here finally. So, and with that, I pass.
Thank you. I think wasn't one of our televisions named the Firebug or something like that? One of the big TVs up here that we were to get via a carrier of some kind. The truck had a wreck and one of the TVs burned up. So that kind of put us behind the 8 ball a little bit. We have no scheduled committee reports. Just a note, under ordinances and resolutions, then we are going to have an issue with Mr. Wright and Mrs. Howdeshell being both absent. Mrs. Howdeshell is currently working at one of the voting precincts, which she's done for a number of years, and will be in later. But if we get through the agenda, we can only just give most of these ordinances and resolutions reading by title only the first time, because it takes 6 members to suspend the rules, and we only have 5 present. So just a note on that. So with that, we will start with our ordinances and resolutions. And again, under committee reports, we have nothing present at this time. First, we have a supplemental appropriations ordinance.
An ordinance to make additional appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the City of Greenville, State of Ohio during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2020. This supplemental ordinance allows for appropriations in the General Fund, Street Fund, Park Fund, and Coronavirus Relief Fund in the following sums. New equipment, municipal building in the amount of $7,000. These funds are needed for carpeting and paint for the tax office, council chambers, and basement classroom. Office supplies, street construction, maintenance, and repair in the amount of $8,000. These funds are needed to cover unforeseen expenses related to unemployment benefits for prior employees. New equipment park in the amount of $500. These funds are needed for disc golf equipment and were provided by donations. Refunds park in the amount of $350. These funds are needed for refunds for park shelter rentals. Salaries, Coronavirus Relief Fund in the amount of $454,635.29. These funds are needed to cover COVID-19 related salaries.
Okay, you've heard the first reading. Next, we have a transfer ordinance.
An ordinance for the transfer of funds among the appropriations of the various funds of the City of Greenville. This ordinance allows for transfers in the Coronavirus Relief Fund in the sum as follows. $550 from office supplies, Coronavirus Relief, to salaries, Coronavirus Relief. $61.18 from new equipment, Coronavirus Relief, to salaries, Coronavirus Relief. These funds are needed to cover COVID-19 related salaries.
And next, we have an ordinance establishing zoning regulations for the City of Greenville related to donation bins.
An ordinance establishing the zoning regulations for the City of Greenville related to donation bins. This ordinance establishes the zoning regulations related to donation bins passed by City Council during the public hearing on October 20th, 2020.
And next, we have an ordinance amending zoning regulations for the City of Greenville related to fencing.
An ordinance amending the zoning regulations for the City of Greenville related to fencing. This ordinance amends the zoning regulations related to fencing passed by City Council during the public hearing on October 20th, 2020.
For all of you, those familiar with some of the Olympic sports, this fencing is fencing around yards. It's not the foil fencing that you see going on in an Olympic sport. Next, we have a resolution authorizing the Director of Public Safety Service to advertise for bids for the rendering of necessary materials, equipment, and labor connection with sanitary storm sewer lining project and declaring an emergency.
A resolution authorizing the Director of Public Safety Service to advertise for bids for the rendering of necessary materials, equipment, and labor in connection with sanitary and storm sewer lining maintenance project and declaring an emergency. This resolution authorizes the Safety Service Director to advertise for bids for the rendering of necessary materials, equipment, and labor regarding the sanitary sewer lining maintenance project, and this resolution has an emergency clause.
And number 6, we have a resolution authorizing the disposition of no longer needed motor vehicles.
A resolution authorizing the disposition of no longer needed motor vehicles. This resolution authorizes the disposition of 5 no longer needed vehicles formerly used or held in conjunction with operations of the police department.
And finally, we have item 7, an ordinance to refund payments made to the transit system back to the general fund.
An ordinance refunding payments made to the transit system back to the general fund. This ordinance refunds payments made to the transit system back to the general fund.
And that concludes our ordinances and resolutions for this evening. Just double checking with everyone, since we're short, are any of these a dire necessity that would constitute the necessity for a quick emergency meeting to try to get 6 people together to be able to do some of the legislation, or can this be carried over to next council meeting adequately?
The one thing that's got the emergency clause is the bidding for the storm sewer lining.
Right.
Mr. Belk, do you know if that?
I'd have to look for sure at the date, but I think we could probably, as long as we could do it at the next meeting, we would be okay.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, we have nothing under old or new business. Any matters of communications?
We received the monthly report of October from income tax.
And that's it. Well, I hate to run through this so quickly, but we're coming to the close. So let's call down the council, please.
Whitaker,
I just want to say how, I guess, good it is to be back here in the council chambers and making use of the COVID funds and getting the equipment we needed here in the council chambers to improve things and make it a lot more necessary and better for us to have the meetings here and for people to be able to better attend and hear what's going on. The new microphones are going to help. And I just think it was a good thing to do. And with that, I'll pass.
Baumgartner,
Yeah, ditto that. I mean, a couple departments that always come through, street department and IT department. They seem to always come through. So Ryan, pass that on. Good job. And then I also wanted to, on a sad note, my wife was telling me that our hometown hero, Kenton Stacy's back in the hospital. He's got some complications. So just say a prayer for him and hope he gets better. And I'll pass on that.
Godwin,
Yeah, thanks to the street department and the IT department for getting this thing set up, and hope everybody went and voted today. And with that, I'll pass.
Rogers,
Yes, also thanks to the departments that helped get this all together and rather quickly, I guess, today. So, and then on a sad note, one of our former city treasurers, Barbara Fee, she's in the hospital and not doing real well. So thoughts and prayers for her and her family. And I pass.
Schmidt,
We'll pass.
President Burkett,
Yeah, I just wanted to take a moment to recognize the city of Greenville as such has lost a supporter of the city. And that's Father White from St. Mary's Catholic Church passed away. And to all the parishioners there, and I know it is a considerable loss. He's been with the parish a long, long time, and was a pillar in the community. I mean, he did a lot for the community, as a lot of our church leaders all do. And when you lose someone like that, it leaves a gap. And so we're saddened by that, and we just hope the best for the parish. Again, I reiterate to the citizens, we're certainly not trying to, excuse me, shut you out of the council meetings. And if you have difficulty making connections, please maybe through the week before the next council meeting, get with someone who maybe we can help you get connected a little better or make the necessary steps to get you involved. I think it's very, very important that we do that. This council does listen, and we appreciate hearing from folks. So with that, I hope all of the little goblins and ghosts and so forth had a good Halloween. I know it was the trick or treat was almost a week before the actual event, but I understand that there was some other things going on downtown Greenville on Halloween night, and some organizers did some nice things. So we're thankful for that. People are still trying to maintain some sense of assistance to the community and support for the community, and that is very, very greatly appreciated. So with that, I will pass and entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Motion by Mr. Rogers to adjourn. Call the roll, please.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Baumgartner,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Rogers,
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
Thank you all and good night.